welcome to DRBMiller introducing Outriders.
Today, we shall see victory! A great new altered fights at our side!
The anomaly should have killed us. But instead, it left us something more. Altered and Outrider. Only we can lead them to a future. Whatever we were before, we're something new now. We have a second life. We can't waste it.
A warm welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us, and I want to say hello to all of our friends, fans, community members, participants, squad mates, and viewers worldwide on various platforms. Thank you for joining our DRBMiller introducing Outriders. We are carrying on with the demo. We're introducing this wonderful new sci-fi RPG shooter, which in fact has been frostily received in the press, but we loved it in here. I thought it was absolutely amazing with all of its graphics and story content and all the other things on offer, so we thoroughly enjoyed it during the last few days, and I'm glad to see that the demo is picking up on Twitter and Reddit as well. Loads of great postings from the punters, from the gamers, and at the end of the day, you know, the writers may have their own ideas and opinions, but we love certain games irrespective of what they say. I know that some of our community members are waiting to join us. Just the Memory will join us here with some gameplay, so thank you for being patient. But I need to do a bit of introduction, and that is what I do every single time. Sometimes the introduction is quite lengthy, depending on what news I get, you know, early in the day on the wires. But today we have some big announcements to come in, and I'm pleased to say they've come in from Apex developer Respawn. We talked yesterday about the anniversary season ending. I think I need to really reduce the music in here before doing anything else, just bear with me. Music volume 2, we need to reduce it to nil, I think. Okay, that will be better. I think 1 will be better than 2, significantly less loud. Right, so we had some information coming on the wires from Apex and Respawn, and I'm very glad to say that the news are already telling us that there is going to be another event. And we just completed the 2-year anniversary on Tuesday, and we've had 3 weeks of Apex here, but it looks like the new event is going to be bringing in Apex back again, because we want to be kept abreast, you know, with seasons and all the other niceties coming our way. So first and foremost, the season is called Theory Collection, and it's actually not a season, it's an event that lasts 2 weeks, starting from next Tuesday and then going ahead for 14 days and then ending towards the end of the month. So first of all, I need to tell you that the news are saying that first of all we'll have Apex arriving to Switch. So for all of you who are, this music is really impossible. I need to do it again, I'm afraid. I apologise, but I really can't hear a thing. It's so blasting loud, it's incredible. You know, I like, obviously, listening to music and enjoying it, but it is causing me issues here with my broadcast, and if it's blasting loud then people can't hear anything that I want to say here on my broadcast. So there we are. Where were we? Yeah. The Chaos Theory Collection event kicks off March the 9th, so that's next Tuesday at the time where the game gets reset. So I believe that will be at 6 o'clock PM UK time, 7 o'clock PM in Europe, and it will be giving us lots of different not anniversary, but event rewards. In addition to this, they are telling us that the launch of Apex will be on Nintendo Switch, so people will be able to access it on Nintendo, and I think Nintendo will be integrated with cross-platforms, so anybody doing it on Switch will be able to join PC players and everyone else on consoles. That's the novelty, that's the big thing, and keep it in mind, because if you're on Switch, you are not going to be able to have such good controls as somebody on a PC, and therefore you will be at great disadvantage. On the other hand, it will be enhancing our community. We'll have more people coming in. There'll be the means to which they'll connect, and that will give us a lot more muscle in building our community literally throughout. So the other big thing is the Caustic Town Takeover, and that's the activity linked to the season, and we are going to be getting these rewards which I just mentioned for 2 weeks. The Ring Fury Escalation Takeover, the new Heat Shield item and accompanying survival slot in your inventory, a no-fill queue option for Brave, or is it Solo Legends, the Chaos Theory Collection event and its associated rewards track, collectible cosmetics, and the new Bangalore Heirloom, and a chaotic blast of balance changes, quantity of life updates, and bug fixes. So we have all that described in depth. I'll tell you very briefly on each one of these sections, because I know lots of our Apex members and community participants, gamers, will want to know about this. I have not known anything much about this before today, so it just came in on the wires. The game director talked about it in the interview that I've seen on Xbox podcast a couple of weeks ago, but still I didn't realize it was going to be coming our way so soon after the event that just ended. Anyway, great news. I thoroughly enjoyed 2 anniversary, collected all the rewards, and we are going to be getting the same sort of map of rewards, exactly the same. You're grinding, you're collecting XPs, and therefore you're collecting all the rewards in due course. So the main thing is Switch access. Anyone who is in possession of the Nintendo Switch console, you'll be able to play Apex from next week, and basically you'll be able to join our other gamers from all platforms in the arena at any time, and that's fantastic, that's wonderful. As far as our community is concerned, we all want to be having many more people joining us at all times, and I'm absolutely in favor of cross platforms. So if you're not keen on playing with people on Switch and you're on a PC, you need to make sure your settings are adjusted. So you'll switch off cross-platform, you leave it your platform alone, and you have no more problems. So remember that. It's optional, but it gives us a much greater muscle in order to build our community, because if you have everybody coming in from everywhere, then obviously the greater number of participants will give us a lot more opportunity to connect with our friends from around the world, and that's appreciated. I'm really looking forward to that taking place in Destiny. It's coming probably after Easter, and I just can't wait for that to materialize, because we have a large community of gamers on PlayStation and on Xbox and on a PC, of course, and then everybody will be able to join forces, come in, and don't forget, lots of people are playing Destiny on the Android, because Destiny Beyond Light and the sequel is accessible through Xbox Game Pass, and the Game Pass is indeed downloadable to your PC. So you can have Destiny on your PC and you can play it whenever you want, as well as on xCloud. So if you are, for instance, up and about, you're in a house, somebody else is using the console or doing something on TV, you can just hit it up on your Android phone and connect to Game Pass app and play Destiny with your controller. right? So you need to have your phone connected to your controller, and that is then all sorted. So really, really good news coming our way. Anyway, back to Apex. Caustic Town Takeover. When life gives you lemons, you can count on Caustic to turn it into toxic lemonade. We know that Caustic's been perhaps not the most popular character in Apex, and I played him quite a bit after his launch. And he's a bit slow, a bit remote, but he's a character like Gibraltar who can be used tactically in a team of 3. You can really use the gas and all of his special abilities accordingly with Bangalore and Lifeline to your own success. He's particularly useful if you're having some people who are like to be camping in certain buildings, and then you can surround them and put that gas in there and therefore eliminate them from any further advances. So very, very, very important addition to our menagerie out there in Apex. And then we hear that where water treatment once stood, the new caustic treatment are constructed to prevent the crash site fuel spill from reaching the ocean. Forever the scientist Caustic has set out an experiment that requires test subjects to drain the toxic liquid from the center of the facility. Doing this temporarily grants access to 4 gold loot items locked in cages. So it's 4 gold loot items which are locked in cages. Players must be quick though, as greed can be deadly. Don't forget there will be gas and various other substances that will obviously neutralize it if you're not quick enough. If you happen to notice that the Mirage Voyage is missing, you can put the blame on Caustic. The polluted fumes from caustic treatment really kill the vibe, so Mirage set sail to take the party elsewhere. No one spotted it yet, but that party boat tends to show up in an arena when you least expect it. The new thing, which I didn't quite understand initially when I read this, it's Ring Fury Escalation Takeover, Heat Shields, and the Survival slot. Right, so let's see. Ring Fury is a new Apex playlist takeover that follows regular BR rules, but each round 1 or more ring flares will appear on the map within the current ring. Ring flares are slowly expanding pockets of the ring within the arena, so Maggie sure does know how to start the party. Those who get caught in a ring flare will take damage equal to the damage dealt by the current round's ring. You'll be given a short warning on the map and minimap before the ring flare appears. Legends will call out if they are in direct danger or if there is one opening up nearby. So it's an extra ring within a ring that will be popping up from next Tuesday. So how do you deal with ring flares? Well, 2 ways. First, try not to get caught in them. Following that, you can drop a new item we're introducing called Heat Shields. Right, so if you're caught in there, you can introduce this Heat Shield and therefore you'll be able to survive a bit longer. During the Ring Fury Escalation Takeover, all players will start with a Heat Shield in the inventory on drop. Throw down your Heat Shield to avoid damage from ring flares or from the ring itself. And remember that you can always find more. The loot pool for this event has been tuned to spread Heat Shields and throughout the map. Heat Shields cast a protective dome, pouring the deadly effect on the ring over the barrier for a short while, and also enabling legends to loot, revive, and generally make some amazing plays outside the ring. Plus, when you're inside the dome, the use of healing items is sped up by 50%, and the speed of revives is increased by 25%, so that's very useful. This bonus is only given by Heat Shields that have been activated by the ring. Heat Shields on standby in the safe zone are conserving energy and do not grant this bonus. So that's great. We'll experiment with that next Tuesday. Survival slots. You'll notice that the Heat Shield doesn't take up any of your normal inventory slots. Instead, it resides in the brand new inventory slot called Survival. The Survival slot aims to eliminate the choice between normal loot and situation utilities like mobile respawn beacon or a Heat Shield. So now there's no reason not to carry one of these around, coordinate with your team, and the possibility for more survivability tactics. So they're really building a more tactical, more strategic type of gameplay compared to death matches, which we had 2 years ago. And that's all blending in with the current concept, reducing the number of participants, making the maps bigger, therefore, and all 3 members participating in there within a very, very sort of tight squad and building the strategies in order to outsmart the opponents. So it's not all about battles, it's all about outsmarting as well. Escalation takeovers. Like previous playlist takeovers, Ring Fury will replace regular duos and trios playlists for the 2-week duration of the collection event. Ranked will not be affected. However, unlike previous takeovers, Ring Fury is an escalation takeover, which means that every few days during the event, We are going to be turning something to crank up the prevalence, terming and I can't read properly. We are going to turn some knobs to crank up the prevalence, timing and size of ring flares. By the end of the event, you can expect 5 different stages of escalation, so that's exciting. No fill matchmaking, well, that's the new thing. That's going to be just Apex done solo. I mean, we know that some streamers like doing solo streams and excelling with their own skill and experience, so that's an add-on similar to what we have in PUBG, for instance, and it's going to be offering you that map through which you are going to be coming in as an individual rather than in a squad of 3, and I'm sure it will be appreciated by those people who are bothered by random matchmaking and want to do their own thing, like really unfazed by all the requests and all of the things that people might do which are not really part of the strategy or the best for the squad. As you've known, obviously, if you played random matchmaking many times like myself, I played probably 10,000 players really in Apex, and I can certainly tell you that it's a mixed bag. Sometimes you get fantastically organized, experienced veterans of other FPS games, at other times it's children and some people who are just trying to find out what to do, and therefore that causes all kinds of issues. No fill matchmaking is a new way to play the game as a solo legend. So basically in the lobby you'll see a checkbox entitled fill matchmaking. This means the matchmaking system will attempt to fill your squad to duos or trios, or whichever you queued for. This is how the game has worked up to this point and will be the default setting after every match you play. So once you check it, uncheck it, it will stay exactly like that up to the point where you manually change the settings. Unchecking this box and clicking play will send your party into a selected playlist without filling your team with other players. So if your solo queue into trios with full matchmaking unchecked, you'll go in alone. So you'll be on a team of 1 against teams of 3. So remember that this is quite useful because you're not going to be playing against other solo players. You are going to be alone against the teams of 3. But you want to do it, up to you. Respawn still believe that at its best, Apex Legends is a game about team play, 3-man effort, meeting other 3-man teams. But we are launching this no-fill matchmaking as an option for solo players because we think it gives a lot of creative opportunities for you to play the game your way. Absolutely. All the people who are presently entering into trios and don't want to be doing a squad work or anything which is team effort based, they need to basically resort to that solo. So if you want to be Wiretap, if you want to be a superhero, you want to be eliminating 19 other teams in there of 3 all by yourself, well, good luck. But I don't think you will fare and square too well. Anyway, done to you. Alright, so Chaos Theory collection events and rewards track. So we have a collection event and new unlockables, and we have the freebies as usual. The Chaos Theory collection event brings a reward track with all new earnable cosmetics, this time including legendary Kraber and Ava 8 weapon skins amongst the goodies. So it's similar. You get the timeline like what we had with 2 anniversary, and you're just unlocking bits and pieces. You can earn 1,000 points per day, and challenges refresh daily, so no more than 1,000 points a day. There are also stretch challenges, and I think it's 5,000 altogether, that reward your 4 unique badges. If you complete them during the event, all of these challenges also stack up with your battle pass, so you can complete multiples at once. And of course, Chaos Theory also introduces a brand new set of 24 theme event limited cosmetics. So it's the same thing to what we had in 2 anniversary thing. Inspired by the Warriors of the Frontier, our legends are donning fierce new looks as they drop into the arena. And I have to say the designs of these are mouth-watering, because obviously they will want people to purchase with dollar the packs, which are basically event packs, and therefore you'll be able to get all 24. We did work out that the pack will cost something like £17. I mean, the overall, the 2 packs together, in order to get 24 of these skins, will cost you about £70, so it's about $20 or 18 euros. All 24 items will be available through direct purchase for Apex coins or crafting materials, and in event Apex packs for the entire duration of the event. If you collect all 24 event items, you'll unlock the Bangalore heirloom set. Bangalore took this pilot's knife off a cold-blooded opponent, so they have some pictures of this new knife, etc, etc. So I think that's what it is. We have also lots of different tweaks on the legends. If you're interested, just head to my Twitter. I did post the detailed information on all the adjustments, everything that will come together with the event, and you can just get very experienced and knowledgeable by reading all the information. But I think the most important points have been covered already. We are cracking on with new events on next Tuesday for Apex, and then for 2 weeks we are going to be grinding in order to get all the freebies, and maybe in addition to that we'll get maybe 2 or 3 of those premium cosmetics as well. If you want to get all of them, as you've seen with the 2-year anniversary event, it's impossible to get them if you're opening all the crates. It was 500 crates, I think. Was it not 500? Yeah, 500 loot crates had to be opened for one heirloom. It was just absolutely impossible. And I managed to get, I think, 2 anniversary packs that unlocked some really good skins, and ended up with 3 out of 24. I'm not, I'm not going to be purchasing all the other packs. Obviously, the game is offered free of charge, which means everyone who is interested, everyone who is a supporter of Respawn, who loves the game, they should absolutely purchase some stuff from Respawn, because if you purchase a pack which costs you £6 or £7, you're investing in that game. The game's offered free of charge, don't forget. The game is very expensive to make, and you are becoming then an investor. One of those who invested to I think it was 2 billion. Was it 2 billion or 1 million? 1 billion. They made $1 billion on the cosmetics during its 2 years of existence. So I guess not scoring as high as Modern Warfare and Warzone, but still, $1 billion made on the sales of cosmetics alone. That extracts the purchase of the game. Don't forget, with 3 billion on Warzone and Modern Warfare, it did include some game sales in addition to all the cosmetics. But it's just staggering figures, and certainly people invested, and overall were very happy with the content. And I think Apex is a game that is there certainly to stay for a long while. Alright, so that's all the news, all Apex related. We've read it all, and now we're going back to our our demo of Outriders. I can see that we have our friend there waiting, so let me see whether we can bring in the invitation. But before we do that, I need to really get the music back on, because otherwise we'll be complete without music. We'll put music on, where is it now? Audio, music volume nil. Now we'll put it to 1, so we can hear some of it. Music in here is very similar to what we have in Destiny. It's blasting loud. And let me see, we'll see whether our friend is there. Invitations, we need to invite our friend. No, we're not getting it. You need to send me another invite, friend, because these have expired, I think. There's a voice message. I can't listen to this because I'm live on there. And let me see. Our friend needs to send us another invite. Invitations. We need to clear all of these, and we need to see. Let me see. Recently played with. For some reason I'm not getting our friend there, so I'm not sure why. There must be a reason. Just memory, if you're watching, you need to send me another invite, because all of your messages had expired. I can't really use any of these. I'll try to send you an invite as well. Let me just see. Let me see, I can find you, because I don't have you on my list for some reason, don't know why. No, I don't see you on a list. Friends, let's see. No, I don't see on the list either for some reason. I don't know why. Just a memory. We'll find just a memory elsewhere. Hang on. I think I know what the reason is. Okay, we have our friend in there, I think now. Invite, join, send message, add a friend. Okay, we need to send this to a friend. Okay, friend added. And now we want to invite to a party. And we want to, no, we don't actually want to invite to a game. Our friend needs to invite us to join their game, because we'll be doing it together with them. So we'll send a message. There we are, we sent a message in there. See friends. I will just wait for a moment for our friend. Let's see what they're saying. So instead of, I think our friend said that they're busy with something, and therefore we'll carry on with our game here. We had a serious difficulty there with that boss, and I think I have some problems eliminating him. It was very tricky yesterday. I think our friend Coide will join us a bit later, so we'll just wait and crack on with Outriders gameplay as it stands here. What's been really appreciated by the community members is the fact that Outriders is replayable as a demo, and everything you complete here can be imported to the full game once you get it in April, and that's just been seen as terrific. And I think, considering how many fights we have and how large the demo is, we can certainly replay it many times as a different character or with different friends, and you can try out different things, explore the open world. So it really does have huge potential, and I think the gamers will prove the industry wrong, because the initial industry reports were really negative about this game, to my great surprise and I guess grave concern that a game that appears to be as great as this would be given curious to see what this is.
Outrider, be careful out there. It's bad.
I'll see what I can do. But Shira, I still got about 30 years of questions to catch up on.
So if you make it back in one piece, come and ask me. But I don't promise I'll have all the answers.
I thought that was World Tier 3 yesterday, so what's happened? I wonder. See. The weapons we have 170, sniper is 110, and pistol is 83, okay. Various masks, 69. Is the best, I think, we've got. No, 71 is the best. No, 89 is the best. Okay, so 68, it's 89. Battered Carl. Then 72. That's not the best. We picked up 88, level 4. One definitely the best one. And then 58. 65 needs to be replacing this one. Shoes 54. Shoes 70. The best one out. And then we'll take a nice screenshot of our friend. So we'll keep this for our Twitter. I shared some, although not that many, of the screenshots I've taken here in Outrider, but I will be sharing many more overnight. In fact, we had very many from Apex and Warzone, and therefore I didn't have enough time to post all of these, but I have probably more than 100 of wonderful screenshots taken here during the demo gameplay, and really all of them look fantastic. I want to really bring in as many community members from worldwide into the arena. I want to promote the game and make sure that they know that we are enjoying all that the developer People Can Fly had offered. Class. Okay. Let's see. Class. Class points. Okay. Archmage, increase your anomaly power. Magma Golem, increase your health by 10%. And then increase your weapon damage. I think health probably the most important thing of all. So we'll unlock that one. No more class points. Accolades. Oh, we're not there yet. We are going to be getting some rewards, but as you can see, combats we're progressing. 5% going up the ladder, and then progression 1 out of 70. Well, the overall inventory and stats are here incredibly detailed. They're really, I guess, top it off compared to Anthem, which was equally detailed. Oh, I see teamwork. I've got some rewards which I've not claimed. Okay, so we'll take that. Teamwork 1 out of 17. Unclaimed rewards 1. Let's see what these are. Oh, shared story. Matchmake with a random player and complete a quest together. So we claimed the reward, so we need to worry about it. Technomancer. So you can see each one of them. That's really, I mean, quite frankly, the stats are so incredibly detailed, similar to what we had in Anthem and Destiny, and therefore they will make some of those dedicated veterans, people who are completionists, and you know, people who are into doing every single bit, like the collectors, to do the game again and again, and obviously connect with other friends, create squads, and then do all of these activities in order to have 100%. I'd say it will take them a little while, because we know what the open world activities really are, and they all take a little while. So there you are. I'm a bit perturbed as to why I was brought in here. I thought we already progressed further up, but nevertheless, we can. It's interesting that you can also get your GPS, which is similar to Division. You can see it. Let's send this card like that. I'll get caches outside. What's this? that the game feels a bit rough on the side. We're not getting the gameplay, and I think a lot more of that as we enter the multiplayer. But I personally can't really work out what it is to do on the internet, whether it is the game itself. I think it's to do with the game itself, because the writers of Push Square and Eurogamer, that otherwise are quite positive towards the open world games, were a bit frosty, and they said that they felt the game was not doing the job on the tech side of things. They advised the developer to postpone the release. So we're off to the front lines.
Okay, boss. Do you see a big tower? That's where but it's a mess out there. Everything's upside down.
Yeah, I noticed. Don't worry, I'm my way through it.
mic was switched off. I didn't realize that. That's annoying. Hang on. Where's the mic to collect? Swords. Yes. Boom. That looked fierce. Any more items to collect? Anyone seen anyone? Successful. Second round on this. It's not too completed. Well, yesterday was a lot more tricky. Loads of captains chasing. What's happened? World Tier 2. Yesterday I was playing World Tier 4. That's what was this. What's happened? What to do? Later, maybe we'll increase our armor. Ah, key. of snipers. Everyone who's in Warzone and Destiny and PUBG and ones, well, Apex no more, but in the past it used to sniper quite a lot. But the tactics in Apex changed significantly. Then corrected since we're down here. So a lot of heat will be coming on shortly. I'm not sure what people complain about. Loads of good fighting sequences in here. Loads. Rusty. I feel like Rusty's better than the last one, huh? What do you think? Is it or not? Curious to see. 121 Rusty. It's the fact. It's the best one so far. No, it's all sorted. It's all good. It's all good. Getting that. There's another item down there. Left. Just up with it. 125 Rusty. So that's a glitch. That's a glitch. It's gone. had some enemies that were a lot more difficult yesterday. What's the commander rifle like? Is it better than what we got? Maybe.
I'm getting major deja vu in this place. Reminds me of that mission in Damascus, when we rescued the...
To save your ass from that machete-wielding mob.
Ha! More like that time I had to save your sorry ass from that redneck mob storming DC.
Those missions felt like we were fighting for a reason. But this shithole, it's never been worth fighting for.
So what's it all about for you then?
Just trying to live another day. Boss, we're barely holding on.
Sounds like I chose a good day to wake up then.
Clear the way, going up to the tower. Once you get to the tower, there's a very mighty boss in there, so I'm not sure whether I am going to be able to resolve it by myself. Very unlikely. key. I've got to admit, yesterday when I played this, it was absolutely fierce. It was crazy. Look at this. Well, that's the way it was yesterday, but all these guys were attacking me. So I'm not sure what the reason for this is for them not to be there. Well, I think it's the world tier. Let me just have a look actually. Hang on. World tier. Picked up something else. A reward. Claim rewards. Claim. Which one? All three. Okay. Journal. Come on. Come on. Jakub Dabrowski, grumbling mechanic. Believe me, boss, I want this to work, you have no idea, but people don't change. Jakub's always been a scoundrel and a grouch, and there's nobody you'd rather have at your side in a battle. Originally from Poland, Jakub lost his parents in the siege of Warsaw, grew up scrounging on the streets. He managed to escape to the States by boat as a young refugee, where he was happy to take up arms as a mercenary as long as he got 3 meals a day. Jakub signed on as a mechanic and driver under Jack Tanner the same day you were recruited. Over the next 5 years you faced combat together more times than you can care to count, fighting for whatever country was paying you, and Jakub were the only survivors of a squad airdropped into Venezuela during the fall of Caracas, and managed to extract 3 high-profile assets. You lasted 9 months together in a Syrian prison camp in '73. Along with Tanner, you and Jakub survived a chopper crash in the Zagros Mountains and walked all the way to Kemamanch. On landing day on Enoch, Jakub is the outrider responsible for driving and maintaining your truck as you secure a perimeter for the first human colony. This will likely be the last time you have to serve together if all goes according to plan. 31 years after landing on Enoch, 31 years, you were sent on a mission to find Jakub, who had been captured by a group of thugs, the Hounds, and rescued him, earning an earful of grumbling and not even a thank you. Jakub has clearly not changed. Jakub has left the life and ideals of the Outriders behind. He is now a crack mechanic under Grand Marshal Shira Goodman's employee, capable of keeping any set of wheels turning. Jakub nonetheless prefers to laze around and gripe about his predicament from his comfortable cocoon of fatalism. Jakub's pleasantly surprised to find that you're alive, but he has a creeping feeling that this joy will be short-lived. Well, if you watched our stream, and if you watched the Outriders demo, you'll know that our character was being placed in stasis due to injuries, and therefore she woke up 31 years later just to discover that everything changed considerably on Enoch. Enoch is the planet where indeed we are presently residing. History and lore, history and lore. So we're unlocking. It's very similar to Mass Effect and to Destiny with all the other items. We can have a look at that later. So the next thing is we need to get in and then contest some enemies, I guess. I have to say that the game does feel a bit rough on the tech side of things, and I'm certainly hoping that people can fly, the developer will spend a bit of time looking at it before the game's released, because otherwise it'll have a lot of flack, I think, considering how smooth the gameplay of the big AAA blockbusters today generally is. Like when you play The Division, for instance, or Assassin's Creed Valhalla, people will be a bit critical, find that to be difficult. And also, if you're looking at this when I'm running left to right. The frames are dropping. See that? It's very stiff. Also uncontrolled, so it's not really as smooth as it should be. This is a demo, and I think it's probably wiser for them to launch alpha for this demo than the actual release. To try the game as a multiplayer to see whether it will work. I had banding and all sorts of technical issues yesterday because my junior friend here and me Outriders.
Jakub, I've reached the solar tower. I'm going in.
What are you seeing in there?
Some kind of weird electrical flying everywhere.
Means you're getting close. This altar, did I mention him? He's a goddamn electro freak.
You mean in light bulbs?
More like flash frying everything for a mile. I know you've always been able to handle yourself, but this son of a is on a whole other level.
As of recently.
No, we actually don't need a flag. I just thought that didn't get registered, but it was. This would be better probably, so let's actually sorry about to where we were yesterday. Okay. Rock and roll, rock and roll.
Should have seen that coming.
for that. He was not as difficult as yesterday, got to say.
And so Outriders kill. We Altered do not die so easily, do we?
Seth.
Come. We must.
They asked you to help them. To fight the altar down there. Why didn't you?
That pathetic monstrosity was a distraction.
People are dying because of him. Without the supply route open...
They all die. These feeble creatures. Slaughtering each other over scraps. You waste your gifts. Running errands for them. Trying to win their meaningless, endless war. You must realize, you are not like them anymore.
So what? I should play at being a god? You?
I am not playing. But you are something even more. Altered and out. The last Outrider. Do what you were sent here for. Go! Beyond the frontier. These people need their gods. Only one like you could lead them to a future.
Why not you?
They call him Moloch. I fight another war, far above this petty squalor. My war is with the worst of our kind. This one is too powerful. He will destroy us all, unless I hunt him down. But this is not your fight. You are to be the shepherd. Find a way for them out of this slaughter. Outrider.
I need to find a way out. So let's see whether we're successful.
Shira, it's done. Your supply line's open, I'm heading home.
I can't believe it. Outrider, what you just did. I've lost 100 men trying.
Don't thank me yet. You still got a war to win.
Not sure anyone's winning this goddamn war. But there's something even more important you might be able to do. Come see me in my bunker.
The journal entry will tell us something about this character. Let's have a look. 170 is still the most powerful. 129 was the lens. That's still all in order. Seth. One of the few altered fighting on the side of the ECA. Seth's massive power is one of the reasons the ECA still survives, but like the rest of his altered kin, he's unpredictable, unreliable, and not entirely sane. You almost fell victim to Seth when you first encountered him in No Man's Land. Suddenly he's noticing your Outriders uniform that saved you. He appears to still hold some respect for the Outriders, long after their myth was tarnished and lost foremost. Okay. Magnus. A full reconnaissance operative, Skarstead typically takes front position in the Outriders' ventures into hostile and unknown territories. Raised among the fjords of Norway, but managed to get one of the last ships out when the earthquakes turned that whole country into wasteland. Raised in one refugee camp after another, Skarstead would have been dead long ago if he hadn't found his way into Tanner's band of mercenaries and learned to fight with the best of them. He's a survivor, having escaped more Warzone and fallen cities than he cares to count. He even saved Scarstead's skin a couple of times back on Earth, and he feels indebted to you for it. Now, one of the few to make it alive off Earth, Scarstead is looking forward to finally relaxing and living a long, long, lazy life. Okay. Oops. What's that? Oh, that's fast to learn who the Outriders are. Okay, it's no big deal. We'll do that later. I just need to take a very short break. I'll be back in 30 seconds and then we'll carry on. We need to go back to debrief, and this is the ideal way of us experimenting with this travel banner. Camp, I think this is where we need to go to. What's this? Quests available for pickup. Okay, another quest. Okay, so we get the extra quests, that's new. Travelling. We need a bit of Far Cry sometime, I think. There are elements of Far Cry and Fallout in here, but Fallout is another... Oh, in too many games, really. Can dedicate the whole day, starting from 8 in the morning to midnight, to all these games, and still, we would not be able to cover everything that is out there. I was thinking of asking our friend, our junior, to join us for Halo and for Anthem, because these are generally family-friendly games, and I definitely need somebody to do Anthem with me. I know that our junior friend has Ultimate subscription, so you can just download his Game Pass EA Play section, and we can crack on. I really want to have another run on Anthem, maybe do it a bit differently in a squad. The main thing about Anthem is I want to show to the world that the game is alive and kicking, that we love it, we want more of it. So if we stream Anthem in view of its temporary cancellation, okay, we put it on, we'll tell the developer we actually won't have it on. And it's only through the streamers and our community that we have to be able to convince them to do that. As you've seen lots
Please,
of...
I haven't eaten for days. Do you have anything to spare? A shoe? A belt?
15 hours. 15:00:15. I don't know what that's supposed to be. 15 seconds maintenance.
Please, I haven't eaten for days. Do you have anything to spare? A shoe? A belt?
See, I can give her some shoes I do not need. Can I give her some shoes? Maybe not yet, maybe in a full game. Well, not gonna bother with that at the moment.
Hey, can you hook me up? Come on.
It's charitable as always.
I'll even stare at you.
How the hell is the East Gate? Motherfucker's got a damned Outriders jacket.
Well, I mean, the game's not as smooth as it should be, but still, I find the map is very enjoyable, the story to be really highly
Guy's
entertaining
crazier than a
and
soup sandwich. Back on Earth, guys like him would get locked in a padded
giving off
cell.
some curiosity.
Back on Earth. Back on Earth.
And also the fade outs, they need to sort this out. It's very unusual to get this today. Not sure as to why it's happening. Must be a
Don't believe you. Hey, Dupek.
Jakob? Shira?
The signal in the forest. You remember it?
Yeah. It was yesterday.
You still have its frequency, don't you?
You mean this frequency?
You got the winning lotto numbers tattooed on your ass cheek, too?
Still don't believe me?
Ugh, I hate when you play the I told you so.
That signal is still playing like a distant echo. It's digital, which means it must be coming from a place where there is no anomaly. The problem is, we've never been able to locate its source because we've never had the right frequency. Until you showed up. So now listen close, you need to bring those precise numbers to Dr. Abraham Zahidi, one of our last scientists.
Bullshit. He's been deep in enemy territory for weeks now. Five Ration says Zahidi's dead.
We don't know that. You. I've seen you before. It was... in the med lab. You woke me out of cryo.
Guess life's real funny that way.
Meet Jane, sniper, first class. She'll guide you.
Wait, Shira. When we landed, that signal was already playing. Do you have any idea who or what is sending it?
Do yourself a favor. Don't ask that question. Whatever's out there, they don't want to be found. And whoever goes looking for that fucking signal ends up dead.
But it's the only chance we've got. And if anyone can get there alive, it's all of you.
Shira, come on.
Jakob! That's an order.
Sorry I left you to die in that med lab. Hey, no worries. Didn't really have a choice. I'd have done the same.
Oh.
I told you that if you pissed him off, we'd get guard duty. I told you.
I know.
And yet, here we are.
Let's see what's been unlocked in the journal. Curious. 2 entries, I think.
I'm not willing to write McCain off yet. He's one tough son of a bitch.
Jane Cole. ECA Sniper First Class. With your help, Outrider, we're gonna get out of this valley. Jane served under Shira for many years. Shira took notice of her.
Spread the word. Whoever finds McCain gets a week home from the front. 2 weeks, if they find him alive.
I need to get out of there, because otherwise I won't be able to read.
After we capture the bunk.
Okay. Back to Jane. Shira took notice of her one day when Jane popped the helmet off an insurgent captain from 200 feet with nothing but her rifle's line of sight. Jane later became a staunch believer in Zahedi's mission. She volunteered to accompany him as a bodyguard during his expeditions into hostile territory. Her courage, superior skill. As a marksman, stealthy approach were ideal when infiltrating positions held by insurgents and infested with monsters. During their latest expedition, Jane found you as you emerged from your crypod after 31 years of stasis. She was forced to leave you behind, fearing for Zahedi's safety, but was ultimately unable to prevent the Doctor from getting captured. Frustrated with herself, rescuing Zahedi is now of paramount importance to her. Olivia Cuthbert. Specialist technician among the Outriders, Cuthbert. Is she Cuthbert or Cuthbert? Cuthbert has been assigned to assist Shira Goodman in isolating and tracking down the digital signatures left behind by the ECS exploratory probes sent to Enoch surface. Before she was an Outrider, Cuthbert was a getaway driver, a late-night bouncer, a radio DJ, anything to keep her out of trouble. But trouble always found a way of finding her. Like that. She lost... They used to say that about me. She lost both her parents at the age of 12 in the San Francisco riots, back when the major utilities were shutting down. She managed to survive on her own in one of the refugee camps across the Golden Gate Bridge when San Francisco's had gone dark, torn apart by gangs. It wasn't long before she was a gangbanger herself and would have died out there if not for Captain Tanner. He saw something in her, gave her a spot in his brigade, apprenticed her to the tech team. Over the years, Cuthbert's growing technical expertise has gotten you and Jakub off. Out of several of the tricky situations you always seem to find yourselves caught up in, Cuthbert has had very few friends, but you are definitely one of them. Cuthbert was able to track another distant probe, and her readings led the Outriders into the forest. She was struck by the cataclysmic storm while trying to escape the forest. You couldn't save her. She died in front of your eyes. And it's funny because these characters kind of died really quick, and I wonder whether in the full game all of them are going to be dying so fast. Because there's always a possibility for Outriders to make a prequel, and then these characters will be more prominent. You know, so that's maybe what they had in mind. But anyway, we'll see. Right, so I'm curious to see about the sniper. Is she gonna walk together with us? Speak with Jakub. City.
Spread the word. Whoever finds McCain gets a week home from the front. 2 weeks, if they find him alive.
So, Jakub, what do you think the signal is?
Beats me. Just some fake hope bullshit for losers who can't accept the world has gone to shit. Guess that's our goddamn mission now. So meet us at my garage when you're ready.
It's in our garage one.
Hey, man.
I'm not willing to write McCain off yet. He's one tough son of a bitch.
Shira's journal. I did see those leaves flying about in the other area, and I've not collected them, so now obviously I know it's necessary, so we'll do every single time exactly the same. We'll get the leaves. There were still many in the ECA who harbored ill will for me after I testified against Sergeant Major Maxwell. Many more who were loyal to President Nyberg. They trusted in the figureheads, not in the institutions. For them to wake up the day after that terrible assault and find me suddenly at the helm, it rang alarms in their heads. I was a nobody, a little girl in their eyes, someone who barely deserved her seat on the ship, never mind leading the ECA. Before I had even realized that I was effectively a Grand Marshal, they made a move. They entered my bunker, ordered my own guards to arrest me. Jakob was there by chance, as was Lieutenant McCain. Though he was only a private then, I put up my hands by instinct, used to following orders, not giving them. But Jakob, who had disparaged me the most, looked at me, disappointment drawn on his face. He was not having it. He spoke one word, Shira, and I knew exactly what it meant. I nodded in an instant. Brief and bloody Jakob and McCain had overpowered my guards, taken the weapons and shot down the conspirators where they stood. I think back to that day more than I care to admit. If I'd gotten more than a couple of hours of sleep, could I have talked them down? If I'd been a little more headstrong, could I have handled them better? If I was then who I am today, could I have convinced the insurgents of these times I tried to negotiate for peace instead of letting them walk into our home and massacre us? Well, I don't think so. I would have pulled the trigger myself. No questions asked, I would have smothered them before they even got out of Syro. I would have ended it there and then, rather than try to save everyone, only no one. Only to save no one. Now I reap the results. A 30-year war that I know will never end, not until I wipe out the insurgents for good. The day I was betrayed by my own people in the ECA, I had the conspirators' bodies put on display in the town square. I could not bear to look at what I'd done, but I made sure everyone else did. There is a sword over my head hanging from a thread. There is no more room for mistakes, otherwise it's all over, and it's all over for us all. So as we carry on, look at this. Loads of different types of private journals. And we are going to be collecting these bits and pieces in order to get to know more about the story. So, where do we go? Let's go back in.
I'm not willing to write McCain off yet. He's one tough son of a bitch.
I know you have a million questions, but I don't have time.
You let me sleep in a few too many fucking years. I think you can find some time.
So we have a lot of dialogue in here, so that's resembling Mass Effect.
This is insane. I watched you take this photo a few hours ago.
That was a lifetime ago. That girl you met that day is long gone.
That girl could never have survived.
Take it. I don't need it anymore.
Oh, it's a selfie. Oh yeah, I remember.
The other altered out there, who do they fight for?
Whoever the fuck they want, you think anyone controls them? The ones who fight with us, they at least seem to have a reason for it. Some shred of humanity still. But on the other side, they're demonic, wrathful gods, machines of death. There's nothing human left.
That won't happen to me.
I pray that's true.
What am I now? Altered? Help me understand.
What do you want to know?
How many are there?
There are lesser ones all over with small and strange mutations. But those with true power, only a handful. Still more than I'm comfortable with. But the soldiers revere them as gods.
Your enemy. What do they want?
What do any of us want? To have enough. But there isn't. Enough food, enough water, anything. They won't settle until they have all we have. They want to destroy us. So I need to destroy them first.
How did it all begin? Why'd you start fighting?
When the anomaly got bad, we had only just begun the colonization. There were still more than 500,000 frozen in cryo, waiting for us to wake them. But we already knew we couldn't feed them all. So one faction argued to just power and let them die in their sleep, preserve the resources we had. The others wanted to give them a chance to live.
I can guess which side you were on.
I was wrong. We tried to be fair and to ration what we had. But it only led to bloodshed. You've been gone too long to understand how truly fucked we are. There can be more than 50 or 60,000 of us left. More on the other side than ours. Soon there'll be none of us left to fight. The insurgents' last assault was a distraction. They were digging tunnels and planting charges right beneath us. They blew our front line all to hell.
I noticed.
The reports of casualties are uncountable. And one of my best men was out there, Lieutenant McCain. But a message just got through. And he's trapped under the rubble, still alive. I don't have any more men to spare. I need you to get him out.
Well, this is really annoying. I think it's the maintenance that they suddenly gave us. I need to find out what's happening with it. And let me see. To see whether it's really 15 seconds like they said it would be, but we'll find out. Anyway, we'll give it a short break now and then we'll carry on. Stay with us. I'll have a short refresher, a 5-minute break, and we'll get back to Outriders. I keep calling it Outsiders, it's Outriders. Outriders are like Guardians, and in Destiny. And then once we get back, we'll carry on with our adventure. So far so good, very enjoyable, very good storytelling, very good graphics. I mean, you can see that the graphics and the company do not have the budget, which is similar to Fallout 76. You can see that the lip sync and the facial features are not as advanced, and you know, it doesn't really matter if the game is good with its storytelling and the content. And they said this is going to be a game of a linear content. If we get DLCs, that will be all basically blending in with the story, and so far it does resemble Mass Effect to a degree. And you know, with the linear storytelling, all the characters being introduced and everything else, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The fights were really great. What I particularly like is they have about 30 or 40 world tier levels, and it is a system we've seen in Anthem, where depending on how long time you spent in the world, you will be getting the extra difficulty level. World tier is a new difficulty level. I quite like the idea of 30 different difficulty levels rather than just 1 or 2 or 3 or 6 as we have it in Anthem and Gears. So, you know, very, very good concept, and so far working really well. I'm very excited and very encouraged by all I've seen. Really look forward to Outriders. In fact, I probably could tell you that I'm as excited as I was about Cyberpunk. I just like these kind of massive big space operas with huge amount of detail, big open world, and funny looking characters. It's just my sort of thing. And you know, if you think of films like Space Odyssey, original Star Wars trilogy, if you think of Blade Runner, it's a magnificent design films. There's so much attention given to detail, and they will withstand the pressure of time for centuries. It just simply, they tell you something new. And I remember watching Blade Runner, was it 2087, recently, and I watched it in IMAX several times. I think about 2 or 3 days on trot, and it was fantastic because, you know, 3 viewings of Blade Runner were providing me with this wonderful, deeply immersive experience of that world in which Gosling and Ford had to be surviving, and it just seemed like wonderful. And Outriders and Mass Effect and Destiny are the games that really carry the beacon for that type of explorative galaxy where you can discover new enemies, new dangers and new mysteries on every single rock, every single crater, meteor, planet and a corner in your own facility. Right, a short break. When I come back we'll carry on. 5-minute break now. 5 minutes for everyone to stretch, to exercise, to have a cup of tea, and then get back for some more adventure, provided that the maintenance will not last for too long. We'll see. We are still experiencing difficulties in accessing Outriders server, so we need to wait and see, and if that carries on for a little while, we'll migrate to Warzone, so bear with us. We just need to see whether they confirmed that the update has been completed. The maintenance, basically, they just pull it out of a hat, just out of the blue. Maintenance at 3 o'clock was allegedly to be lasting about 15 minutes, but I can see that this is not the case. This is not the case at the moment. We have a prolonged problem, so I just need to verify with the developer whether they indeed had completed this. So bear with us, we'll be back shortly. Well, on the Twitter, we've been informed that everything is sorted and probably we need to reload the game. So please bear with us. What we need to do is we need to discontinue this broadcast, reload the game, restart it, and then see whether we can enter the activities. So bear with us. Stay with us. We'll be back literally in 30 seconds.